Welcome back to Packers Corner, where we're excited to talk tonight about the Packers prospects for the number one overall seed in the NFC. I had to switch the script for tonight, boys. We were all ready for it at about halftime against the Denver Broncos. It didn't quite pan out. I was ready to control our destiny. It looked like the Lions were going to take care of business. It looked like Phillip Rivers was going to bail us out in the Seattle aspect of the race. Schmitty, you had to leave mid-game and it all came crashing down. We'll break it down momentarily, but why'd you have to bail?
Duty calls, man. I got home. I turned the TV on. We just scored a touchdown in a minute. I couldn't believe my eyes, and then absolute sadness. We'll talk about it on the other side of this intro video. Can't wait.
Winning isn't everything, but it's the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
It was named after Vince Lombardi. You play in Green Bay. As important as it is to any other team, it means more to us.
When he walked into the meeting, he looked us right in the eye. He said, "Gentlemen, we're going to relentlessly chase perfection."
My first thought was on any play with my arm strength. I may not let anybody know this, but my first thought was home run. On every play. On every play.
He did what? Fires into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! No!
Dad, we had to do a little check-in on Schmitty here and make sure we didn't have any appliance issues. Sounds like no problems there. We got him back here, but how are you holding up with it all, Dad? I think it was tough on the three of us.
I had a marvelous day. I went out in the tree stand. It was about 42 degrees. I saw 9 deer, 1 buck, deer running every which way, beds all around my stand, all kind of activity. I just breathed it in, and the good Lord descended upon me in a spirit of peace and tranquility. I'm fine. What happened on Sunday? Did something happen?
Well, Schmitty, do you want to bring him up to speed?
Yeah, I'm on the other side of an empty Maker's Mark bottle, a half-gallon gar. Right? This is the worst. This is top 2 gut punches of my fandom. Right behind us losing to the Seahawks in the NFC Championship game. We had so much to aspire for this year. Now the haters can all laugh in the choir behind us and the pews behind us as we were about to get up to the altar and just collect our Lombardi trophy. And now it's ruined, man. It is ruined for good. Who knows when Micah's going to come back? It probably won't be until November next year. We're going to be 0-12 by that time, so it won't matter. So you say, hey, you know what? We'll see you the following season. That's Griffey. Here's where I'm at, because I know how good of a quarterback. You know how good of a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers had so many deficiencies, got us to places that we didn't think were possible just simply by his talent. Okay, and how we structured our roster with salary wise, Aaron Rodgers was able to do a lot for us. Now we got a big problem in the fact that you're paying 2 guys equal money, and I fear that Jordan Love, let's throw it up against the defensive player of the year for an easy pick. That man cannot get us on an NFC championship run. Okay. So now you have the Bears is coming Saturday. I'm just so beat, man. It wasn't supposed to be like this season. And I'm just astonished. I don't know what to do, man. I didn't think it could get this low for where we were going, man. We had such a good team. And guys, Micah Parsons was on track for over 100 pressures this year. I saw a little glimpse of what we're going to see the next few weeks with Rashawn Gary, LVN. They ain't getting to the quarterback, dude. So we are screwed. It's over. Bears are going to crush us. And God forbid if we get the 7 seed, they are going to run us over in the playoffs. It played out almost as worse as it did last season when we had no juice going into the playoffs. Seemingly it's worse. How? How did it happen?
Well, Schmitty, we're watching the game, and of course, our favorite guest, Derek Crumry, at his place, and his uncle, Jim, who comments on the videos here pretty frequently, is sleeping in the second half. We had to tell him at the conclusion of the game that Micah Parsons is out for the year. So, he maybe should have just kept sleeping. Maybe that was the solution. But, Dad, we're sitting there up seemingly on the cusp of really bringing to fruition our thoughts about the number 1 seed, given the other events going on and transpiring in the other games that we needed to break our way. And then we get a pretty seismic shift after Micah goes down, a couple turnovers. Where do we go from here? We got a season to continue to play, but it's I'm sure the locker room feels similarly, but you got to rally the troops and move on without Micah. How do you bring that all together?
Well, first of all, I'm pretty sure if Schmitty takes a real nice, close look at his glass, he'll see that it's half full of Maker's Mark. It's not half empty. It's half full. And then number 2, Schmitty has not been a yo-yo for a long time.
He's been pretty level.
And he even went so far as to declare that he had eliminated all the appliances from the house. So clearly,
it's a week too soon.
The powers that be at 1265 Lombardi were not going to go for this, because talk about a yo-yo. You go from about 3 minutes in on the third quarter, 23-14. We take the ball at the end of the half, drive down with a minute and a half left to go, kick a field goal to take a 16-14 lead. We get the ball in the second half. We go down, score a touchdown. We get a 3 and out. It's Schmitty. You must be flying high as a kite. I mean, here we go. We're on our way. And I have no quarrel with the throw whatsoever down deep
to Watson
to take a shot. We've been asking for LaFleur to take shots and put the ball in. And Jordan got hit a little bit. Here's the real crux of the game, Schmitty and boys. The balls that we threw to them, they caught. 2 of them. Wicks bats one up in the air. Unfortunately, it's a little behind him. And the play by Surtain was an awesome play. Our boy Xavier McKinney had an equally play to make. And Carrington Valentine seemingly can't catch the ball because we keep hitting him in the face with it. And so to me, if you look at it, the difference in the game was they caught the couple balls that we threw them. And Bo Nix could have 3 or 4 interceptions in that game. He had balls bouncing in the air that were landing a couple feet from our receivers. So, yeah, if everybody comes out of the game healthy, you kind of go, okay, the ball bounced funny. But, of course, I get it, Schmitty. Micah Parsons isn't going to be there. At the beginning of the year, we had no Micah Parsons starting training camp. And this was touted to be a Super Bowl contending team. Now we're going to see what we have. Now we're going to see if Jordan Love can be the $55 million man. He sure looked like it for the better part of this game. I agree at the end. I didn't realize, though, maybe you did, Schmitty, in the second half, we played the whole half without Zach Tom. So you're down Zach Tom, you're down Christian Watson, no Micah Parsons. Evan Williams goes out of the game. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Philadelphia playoff game last year when everybody goes down right where in the game. It's hard to imagine the turn of events from the dominant feeling that we could not be stopped. We were like a hot knife through butter. So, and then the defense, even after we go down in the deficit there, they make 2 stands and you're just thinking, just prove Sean Payton to be an idiot for going for it there when all he had to do was punt and end the game. And we couldn't make a play. So, hey, we got 3 winnable games. I'm not guaranteeing anything, Schmitty. I'm not guaranteeing we're beating the Bears. That's for sure. I will want to know, but here's the silver lining just to end up this first little diatribe here. Christian Watson isn't lost for the year. And that is a ray of hope. That is a ray of hope. I don't know if he's going to be able to suit up Saturday, but those 3 guys are all questionable for Saturday. Zach Tom, Evan Williams, and Christian Watson. Maybe we can get 1 or 2 of them back.
Schmitty, do you just start looking forward towards Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons coming back someday in the future and hold on to that? Yeah, I think all these guys that'll be back someday. Are you going to be able to, knowing that they're not out there, tune in to watch us against the Bears, or are you going to have to hide your face?
All right. Here. Realistically, we understand the situation that we're in, and we must salvage a playoff spot. If we don't get into the playoffs after what this season has been, it will be an absolute letdown for what Gar said it. This was a team that already had playoff Super Bowl aspirations prior to Micah. And so you're going to see what you got. There's a lot of guys that want to get paid here in this offseason and the next. And so it's the guys that show up. It's your Quay Walkers of the world. If you guys want it, it's there in front of you. You still have a guy that's going to be top 5 in MVP votes. All right. Our edge rusher, we got 2 first-round edge rushers. Can they find a way? Can we just get some spark out of someone that we weren't necessarily expecting? Can Golden finally be a first-round draft pick wide receiver and help us get to where we need to be? You got Jaden Reed back. It'd be awesome if we get one of the 3 guys that Gar was talking about. Would love if Evan Williams could suit up. I don't know about Christian Watson, but damn, Griffey, this will be like a shame on us for wanting to talk about a 1 seed in this. We shouldn't even brought it up last week because now we're in a spot of.
I started talking about the Gonculator and the playoff simulator, and I did us in. So, Schmitty, there's a guy out there, number 56, Edgerrin Cooper. We were throwing out the comparison of Lawrence Taylor at one point in time. Now, I don't think you could say he's had a bad year, but he certainly hasn't looked like a guy that we thought was maybe a dark horse player of the year in the NFL on defense. Think he could step up, give us a spark? Think maybe Carrington Valentine could catch a football?
Again, Griffey,
it's got to be possible.
It has to be. Now, it can happen. Remember our Super Bowl year, our secondary became lights out. It was the best secondary in the world. And Rodgers was playing at an insane level. He goes into Atlanta, just throttles them. You can get hot. And so we have guys that have at points in the season this year and in the past where we've gotten hot. So it's there. I'm not saying that we're totally dead. Beating the Bears, this game coming up is massive. And so if we are able to find a way to take care of business, I think we damn near guarantee ourselves a spot in the playoffs. But we got to see it. We got to Matt LaFleur, where are you at, man? Are you a leader of men? Because if there's a week to lead men into just an absolute war that we're going to get ourselves in Saturday night in front of the world, please lead us. Lead the men.
Dad, what do you make of Jordan Love yet again not really rising to the occasion when the game? I get we lose Christian Watson. I get we lose Micah Parsons, and it's tough to see a couple of your teammates, be hauled off the field there. But our criticism of Jordan Love has been, when it really matters in the playoffs, when we need him to be that $55 million man, is he going to get it done? And, against the Broncos, when we needed maybe someone to carry the load for those guys, Jordan Love didn't rise to the occasion. He played great until we needed him most. You think he's going to be able to turn that on, or is this just what it is?
Well, I'm going to build into your answer here and just say that it's been a really peculiar year with our offense and defense almost play uncomplimentary football when you think back on it. Look at the stellar defensive performances against Cleveland and Carolina and Philadelphia, and the offense has nothing. And then when the offense is lights out against Dallas and for the first half against Denver, the defense is nowhere to be seen. I mean, if the defense could have made a stop or two in that game, it might be over in the third quarter. They had 4 trips to the red zone, 4 touchdowns. We had 5 straight trips to the red zone, 1 touchdown. And there kind of is your game. So now to get to the end, though, no question. I'm thinking at the end, I don't know about you guys, 34-26, 8-point game, 1 possession game, and Sean Payton plays the idiot twice going for it on 4th down near midfield. And I'm thinking,
You got to capitalize, right?
go in there and make him look like the dunce he is for what he's just done. And so I would really like to hear schematically. It looked to me kind of like what they didn't do, Griff, is what Brett Favre always used to say. What all these comebacks, how did you do it, Brett? You make 1 first down, right? That was Brett's answer. Get the check down, get the ball moved. It looked like Jordan was not willing to go to that check down to get things moving in the right direction. Now, he just lit it up all game. Here's how close it is, guys. If Wicks catches that ball at midfield and we got a first down, I think it's on. And here we go. And we are throwing balls into the end zone to try to get the scoring tying touchdown. And then we got to go for 2. And we got a whole different conversation here. So Jordan does have one thing left to prove to us, and that's in super crunch time that he can get it done. I think it's really unfair probably to judge him on that without Zach Tom. I mean,
Well, I think that's true, Dad. To judge him just on this game in isolation on crunch time, but when there's a pattern, there's been instances where Zach Tom's been out there and we haven't seen him rise to the occasion with any sort of great consistency.
So the point is that was his first 2 years. I mean, would Minnesota love to have those first 2 years for J.J. McCarthy?
I've seen J.J. McCarthy rise to the occasion in the fourth quarter more times in his career than Jordan Love at this point.
No, you'll have to check it out. Jordan has plenty of fourth quarter comebacks. I'm granting you this. Here's the point I'm trying to make. Aaron Rodgers did not really become Aaron Rodgers until that 3rd year in the playoff run. And I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember, but we were 6-6 that year. And they won the last 4 games, including at Chicago in the last game of the year, to eke into the playoffs. And I remember thinking, gosh, wouldn't this be great? Aaron's 3rd year. If we could just somehow sneak into the playoffs, maybe win a game, maybe don't, maybe advance, and get this young team some playoff experience so that next year and darned if they don't go into Philadelphia and win the game. They go into Atlanta and Aaron becomes Aaron. They win a not so pretty looking game against the Bears when Urlacher, isn't that where Rodgers had to tackle Urlacher to keep him from going all the way? I think they win 10-3. And then they go in the Super Bowl, and that's where Aaron became Aaron. So it's not like Aaron was Aaron all the time. And so the question is there. Jordan's going to have the opportunity to prove it. But the people who want Jordan to be Aaron right now, it's not quite long enough yet. So we'll see. We'll get the answer to our question. And you guys are right? These last 3 games this year are huge for Jordan to prove that he can be the man. I think the locker room supports him. He's such a cool looking customer out there. He reminds me a lot of Aaron in a lot of ways. And I watched that game last night with Aaron. And unfortunately, boys, I'm glad he's not in Green Bay. He did a nice looking job, but he's such a grumpy old man out there. Oh my gosh. It just is so hard to look at his body language sometimes. And anyway, we love him for what he did, but I like Jordan's comportment. And I like Jordan to give us a chance. I can't guarantee it's going to happen, but so we will get the answer to your question, Griff, in these next 3 weeks, I would say.
Well, the question I'd be curious about is at what point in that developmental process did Aaron Rodgers sign a contract that made him the highest paid quarterback in the NFL? Where along was that? Do you remember?
I remember they signed him to an extension for like $76 million before he got his real big one. And I don't remember if that was in the Super Bowl year. It might have been in the middle of that Super Bowl year that he got the first extension. Somewhere either there or the next year they went 15-1. So certainly by then he had his money. He had a 10-year deal somewhere there. Good question. We'd have to do a little
So
research.
it looks like, I just looked up here. It looks like 2008 he signed kind of an increase, $65 million total. Now, different era, tough to compare the dollars exactly there. It wasn't until 2013 that he signed, a much larger deal, and that made him the highest paid player in the NFL. So after he won a Super Bowl, a couple of years later, went 15-1. That's when, and what did we do at that point? We didn't get it done again for the rest of his career. So there's a very large set of expectations that rightfully should be placed on the shoulders of Jordan Love. And he's the number one quarterback in QBR in the NFL. We've seen what he can do at times, but I just felt like that was a moment where he really could have made this his team. And didn't get it done. So, Schmitty, we got a big one coming up against the Chicago Bears. Your Chicago Bears. We could have two more against the Chicago Bears. What do you think of the prospect of us seeing them two more times? And, if that's the case, maybe we want to win the second one if we had to pick.
Hey, no kidding. I mean, it's a real likelihood of the way things are shaping up. Because the Packers, I think, really, by some miracle, they only need to really win one more game to give themselves a very high likelihood of making the playoffs. They beat the Bears. It's almost a certainty that they get in. So by some miracle, I don't know what they're smoking on, some ayahuasca over there in Las Vegas, but we are favored, Griffey. We are favored by 1.5 to go in and beat the monsters of the Midway. Caleb looked really good. That team last week, granted, I know it's against the Browns, but a team that we lost to, I mean, they took care of him in every facet of the game. I know Garrett got to Caleb a couple times, but I mean, that team, the Bears looked really good. And so I'm really concerned like that they know what's in front of them. Like, if you don't think Ben Johnson has them tooled up to beat us, what a statement by them. Ben Johnson could be the coach of the year if they get a win over us on Saturday night. So this is just one of those, I'm just scratching my head and how does anyone think that we are favored in this matchup, just knowing what has transpired? I know that these guys are professionals and they're supposed to just prepare like any other day, but you just lost a huge leader on defense, a guy that transformed what you were doing as a team, and then not having Christian Watson most likely. So Griffey, I don't see it, and I know it's like an easy way out, but I don't see how the heck we win on Saturday night. I have the Bears winning 24-13. Jordan, hear our cries, man. Please, if there's, just get us in, and I'll say my piece. I'll be done, Griffey. I won't ask for anything anymore for the rest of the year. I don't have anything on my wish list for Christmas. I just need the Packers to say they got into the playoffs this year after they went 9-3-1, had a guy that was going to have 100 pressures and was the best defensive player, was going to be right behind Garrett for best defensive player of the year. Just get us in, man. Or it is. In fact, I'll get all those appliances are 5 feet in front of me. I could go get those very easily, Griffey, and I'll bring them down, and it'll be a live. I can't say the word because I think we would get posted. It would bring this whole thing.
You might get a knock on your door if you're not careful.
It wouldn't be fun, Griffey. Sad. I'd be a very sad boy. I would start eating. The last few episodes would be me eating my cinnamon raisin bread because we know that it's coming to an end and it's going to be the last cinnamon raisin bread I'll ever get to have. My favorite treat in the mornings.
Schmitty, those were
Jordan,
conditional
please.
First-round picks we gave up for Micah, weren't they? We get those back if he gets hurt. That's how that works, right?
You know what? God bless Goody, because we and I've said it many times. It's documented. We have no expertise in first-round draft picks, so that's not even. I give a hoot about those goddamn picks because they don't matter. They don't mean anything. We still have Micah Parsons on the roster. I just hope he can come back September, as he alluded to on his social media. But I don't buy it. Not that type of injury. So please go in and beat the Bears. Please do it for us. Prove me wrong.
Schmitty, as I, was able to remind us all when I started talking about 1 seeds and so forth, is pride comes before the fall. And I recall a couple key moments from the Bears that were a little prideful for my taste. We have, of course, Ben Johnson talking about how great it will be that he gets to beat Matt LaFleur twice a year every year in his inaugural press conference. I think that's going to stick around with him for some time. The other one is Caleb Williams has made some nice plays in recent weeks, but he's had the ball go through a number of defensive backs' hands en route to his intended receiver. And they asked him about this. He had that crazy throw in the back of the end zone about Cleveland, and they said, is that, a little bit of good luck there? And he said, I can make any throw. Dismissed it. A little bit prideful. I think maybe he gets his comeuppance dad this week. He's due for a couple of those to go the other way, don't you think?
Well, first of all, Schmitty, I got a great idea for your appliances. Is to, the season is upon us, and you should get out there on the porch and then check your diagrams for wiring a battery in series or parallel to see what kind of voltage you need to run all those appliances, and then just get them out there on the front porch and up that wattage to the max, and they'll light up the whole house like a Christmas decoration. And then if you need to go stick your finger in there, you won't have any question about them having enough voltage to get the job done, and everything will be good. And much better. The Packers play much better when the appliances are not inaccessible. So that's number one.
They need a little threat to keep the boys in line, huh?
Yeah, just to keep everything on edge. Good grief, we're playing for Schmitty's life here. Then
we don't want to be flat. All right.
Schmitty got rid of the appliances. Oh Lord, what are we? So that's number one, and number two. In the immortal words of the mentor for the Purple, Mike Tice. Enjoy the season. Hey, this is it. This is what it comes down to. We've played all year. We've shown some sparks. We've got some players. I mean, how about Josh Jacobs? Look what that kid did in the game on half a leg on the one side. All but that catch in the end zone.
No,
that
unreal.
was a Devontae Adams catch, not a running back catch. You're not supposed to do that when you're a running back. And so I think you're going to see there's some character on this team. I am going to defer. I am not going to make any predictions till I know if Zach Tom, Christian Watson, and Evan Williams are playing. Schmitty, I think it's only fair because I think all
Well,
of
you can
us
give a conditional proclamation. We can put an asterisk by it, and if you want to change it up until
It's
game
a
time,
gut
that's
punch,
allowed.
right? I mean, the Micah thing is a gut. And it looked to me like that's how the team kind of played. Like the emotional win when it wasn't just Micah, but then Watson gets hauled off, and it's like, oh my gosh. So we're going to see if they can recover. I must say I was not thinking I was going to pick the Packers this week. If Christian Watson plays, I will pick the Packers. So that's my conditional pick. And here's the key to the game. We need to see our little Lawrence Taylor, Mr. Cooper. What? Right?
Yep.
Be a force. And Jeff I was a little troubled by Hafley's defensive strategy against Denver. They didn't stop anything. I mean, our offense was dominant. We scored.
Hey, maybe he won't be a head coach now. How about that for a silver lining?
I think there's the take-home message. There's the happy message there because we scored on our first. Nobody had scored on Denver in 5 straight drives in forever. And we were dominating the ball on offense. We just needed a little defense to go along with it. So maybe Mr. Hafley tightens things up. And I will get you my final prediction later in the week, Griff, when the injury report comes out. But if Christian Watson can go, I'm leaning Packers.
I could never pick in the affirmative for Caleb Williams. I don't think I'll ever do. Oh, I hit the wrong button though. That's not a good omen. I just could never pick him. It's not going to happen. So for no reason other than that, we got to ride with the green and gold. I don't know if I have any logical reason that I can point to. It's what we got to do. It's my responsibility as the host of Packers Corner here. So I'll do it. Gentlemen, we got a couple more. Like you said, we're going to enjoy the final stretch here, because then, come just a couple short months from now, we won't have any football to complain and bellyache about. So we'll enjoy this final stretch. However it ends up, we'll be down back here on the show to recap another game about this time next week. Before we sign off, Schmitty, do you have any thoughts for our Packers Corner faithful?
If we win on Saturday night, it'll be the single greatest game of Jordan's career thus far. If we go in and beat the Bears on Saturday night, it'll be because of Jordan having his best game of his career. I'm here for it, baby. So please, again, just let us know that we're going to be okay, Jordan. I think you can prove it to us Saturday night. I'm looking forward to it.
Dad, do you have a cheese for us?
Pretty hard to surpass the performance against the Dallas Cowboys 2 years ago in his first playoff game. But I think I hear what Schmitty's saying. He's going to need that kind of performance to beat the Bears, and this would cement that. And most of his performance against San Francisco in the following game. So he has it in him. No question about it. And we're going to see what the team's made of. We got to embrace the mystery right now. Think about it. These are 3 winnable games. These are 3 losable games. I mean,
it could go either way for sure.
It could be euphoria again. You could be right back on, or you could be right down licking the bootstraps as low as you've ever been, probably licking the maker's mark right off the bootstraps there. So we get to embrace that mystery. But I do have a little something for the faithful. We're going to go to my go-to cheese, smoked Gouda. We can't get any more highbrow in my mind than smoked Gouda. We got to bring it out like Schmitty says. And Schmitty, you are right. This has got to be Jordan's team now, right? I mean, it's Jordan's time to shine. Take the ball by the horns and see if he can elevate the people around him, and if they would rise to the occasion. And you kind of get the feeling like the team loves him. We're going to see if they're going to rise up around him now and help him get there. One sad note that I heard today when I took talking earlier, Griff, that could we have a magical miracle like James Stark's rise for the last 4 games out of Marshawn Lloyd? Now I heard he tweaked the hamstring again, and he is not going to be coming back. So, Schmitty, I just wanted you to hear that now, so it didn't affect you when we were off air.
Did you have your hopes up for that one, Schmitty?
I don't even know who that guy is. What's his name?
Yeah. What's his name? Yeah. Who? What? When? Where? So anyway, that's not going to happen. But everybody else will be there. So let's see if we can get it done and enjoy and embrace the mystery.
Fair enough. Great to be with you, gentlemen. We'll do it again next week.
Love you all.